Hello, hello. I hope that you're well. Welcome to another week in January, which I probably shouldn't say because I'll probably date this video, but never mind. Um, if you're watching this and you can see a glow, I don't know what that is, but I think there's sunshine coming through my window. So we're just going to go with it because I'd much rather get on and do this recording than not and worry about that. But yeah, it's the sunshine, which is lovely, right? We like sunshine. So today I wanted to talk about the difference between your why and your purpose. But before I jump into that, if you're enjoying the videos, because I really want to do lots more of this, and I'm going to expand very quickly into talking about human design in depth, talking about business in depth and business trainings, and then also how to create a magnetic business. Because the way that we are moving in the business world is changing. You may have seen a few people allude to this, some coaches and things like that who have alluded to this. But I really, really want to talk about that. And so this channel is really going to get filled up very quickly with lots and lots of different videos, which I hope will aid you on your business journey. As always, if you find them helpful, please share them with friends, with family. Please subscribe, because hitting subscribe, A, means that you'll get all the videos I upload directly, which will be great. B, as well, it just really, really helps kind of grow the channel, and I would be ever so grateful. And it just means that I can keep creating lots of really great videos for you. If you've got any questions at any point during the video, just pop them down below. Okay, so let's talk about the difference between your why and your purpose. I did a video at the end of last year around kind of what your purpose is. And it's become a really hot topic in that, especially as the new year changes, we tend to really beat ourselves up around wanting to do something that is committed to fulfilling our purpose. And over the years, that has kind of blown up. And it's almost like a way of measuring ourselves, right? I'm not happy in what I'm doing every single day, so it must mean that I'm not aligned to my purpose. Versus, I'm really happy, I'm lit up because I'm aligned to my purpose. And I really, really wanted to take a moment to talk about the difference between your purpose and your why. And your why is also another theme that has popped up over the years. It was something that was coined by Simon Sinek. So if you've ever read his book, Finding Your Why, it's a great book. And that very much talks around kind of what your why is and why you need a why, right? And I wanted to talk about the difference between the two and why they work so closely together, and why it's so useful to you to be clear on what both is. So firstly, your purpose isn't really a thing that you do. It's who you are when you are doing something that you truly love. And you know when you're doing something you truly love because it lights you up. It makes your eyes go shiny. You're really like full of energy. It's really easy to talk about. You're in flow. It's something that you just are really passionate about. And for lots of people, we have been conditioned to think about that actually maybe our purpose is somebody else's purpose, because along the line, along our journey as we've been growing up, other people have imprinted onto us about what they think we should be doing. And so as we go into like the new age, really, one of the things that we want to be thinking about is how we feel about what we show up and do every single day. And you'll hear me talk about that a lot because your feelings are your guidance system. Yes, Abraham Hicks talks about your emotional guidance system and using it to know when you're actually in vibration of something and when you're not, i.e. when you're attracting something and when you're not. But I've also found that my feelings, my emotional guidance system, let's call it that, is really, really helpful in telling me when I'm doing something I love or when I'm doing something that I don't love. And when I then decide, well, this is something I really love, like creating these videos, I love them, right? They make me feel very excited. I've got a whole list of like different videos I want to create and talk about. And it's just really nice for me to be able to jump on and talk to you about this, right? It's something that I love to do. And hopefully you'll see that. Hopefully I'll have shiny eyes. And I'm full of energy. So this is me in flow, me loving what I do. And it's who I am, right? So my purpose is who I am, the person that I, kind of shine out into the world. Now, I use this phrase a lot, so don't poo-poo the woo-woo, right? So if you're not a woo-woo person, please don't worry. This isn't one of those like, oh my gosh, I'm going to turn off. Just take a moment to have a think about that. When you are doing something you really, really love, who are you when you're doing that? How do you feel? Are you excited? Do you have lots of energy? Are you passionate? Do you get up in the morning raring to go? Or versus when you're doing something you don't love, how does that feel? Is it a bit harder to get through the day? Do you really, really have to kind of force yourself to do something? It feels very different, right? When you're doing something you don't love, there's a heaviness to us. We're not very excited. We feel very kind of maybe low in some cases, you know? And so your purpose is very much around who you are when you're doing something that you love. And naturally, when you are doing something that you align to, something that fits maybe your skill set, your experience, your passions, your energy levels, those kind of things, it will light you up. And very much like a lighthouse, you will shine that beautiful, big light brightly out into the world. And what that does is then that alerts other people's energy auras to kind of come into your space and want to connect with you and things like that. So your purpose isn't necessarily something that you do, it's who you are when you're doing something that you love. And when I look at something like human design, depending on your energy type, so whether you're a projector, a generator, a manifesting generator, a reflector, and I'm just thinking, who have I missed? I'm sure I've missed a manifester, because it's 5. Depending on your type, will depend on how you are lit up when you're doing something that you love. So for example, a generator generally, they will fall in love with something, right? They will feel it, it'll be fun. They'll be fun to be around when they're doing something that they love. So like my mum's a generator, right? And when she's doing something she really loves, it's really heightened in her. She's really bubbly, she's really outgoing, she's really chatty. There's lots of energy emanating from her. When you're a manifesting generator, you might, for example, want to try lots of different things. So you may have been told in your life to actually focus on one thing when really you like to be pulled into different directions and do different things. And that's absolutely the right type of thing to do for a manifesting generator, because you have energy that needs to be spent in that way, where you're doing lots of different things and you're learning really quickly from doing those lots of different things, and you're feeling excited about it. And when you're not, you'll put them down. Reflectors are very much like mirrors. So if they're working with somebody or friends with somebody in their space, maybe it's a colleague, maybe it's a family member, they're very much like a mirror. So if that person is excited about what they're doing, it will reflect back to the reflector, and the reflector will then almost show them how they are being, right, from themselves, by emanating that from themselves. And then if you're a projector like me, you would, I'm lit up, but when I write, when I teach, when I talk, I know that, projectors need more downtime than most of the energy types. And so actually, I'm also lit up when I'm resting and I'm doing something that's kind of low key with my family. That works for me, right? And my energy type. And so it's, but when I'm doing something I don't like, then I'm a bit grumpy about it. I don't, enjoy getting up and going for it. You really got to kind of like motivate me into doing it, and that doesn't feel natural, right? It doesn't feel natural. And so when I'm that person, that version of me, it's not nice to be around because I'm grumpy and I'm a bit moody. Blame me on the menopause, but I'm still moody. But when I'm happy and I'm excited, then it's, I've got really nice energy to be around. And I know that because lots and lots of people tell me that. So have a think about that in yourself, right? So rather than worrying about, I have to do something, I've got to acquire a certain qualification, I've got to do a certain job, I need to be an entrepreneur, right? I've got to build this massive big business because it's my purpose. Actually, it's who you are in delivering those things. Every strategy, every single type of business can be a success, but it will depend on the energy that you inject into it. And we aren't made to be able to do anything and everything. We are made to do the things that are right for us. And you know that they are right for you because they light you up. Okay. Now, your why. Your why is your reason. Okay. So if your purpose is who you are when you're all excited and all lit up and you're doing this wonderful thing that you love, right, and you're shining brightly, then your why is your values. Your why is the reason you are doing that thing that you love. Okay. And so, like, for example, I have got a certain amount of value. I've got some really set values that I live by. Integrity is one of them. It's really high up there for me, acting in integrity. I can smell when somebody is not acting in integrity a mile away, and it's a massive turn off for me, so I'll run away. You know, and I've been tested on that throughout my whole life. And that's what's reaffirmed this value of integrity. Love and kindness, they're other values for me. Freedom is another value for me. So I have a number of values. And so when I'm doing something that I really, really love and I really enjoy, and it could be something as quiet as reading a book, right? Because I love reading or writing, right? When I'm doing those things, I am lit up. I feel inspired, you know, and when you are that person, you will create a ripple effect for everybody else around you. You know, have you never had anyone come up to you and go, you look a bit different today? What's going on? Right? It's normally because you have been in that zone where you're doing something that you love and it's aligned with your values. So think about your why is very much around kind of the reason you are doing something that you love, and then your purpose is who you are when you are shining that light really brightly. And that's how your purpose and your why work together. It's not one or the other, two come together. And if you aren't clear on your values, or you think you know your values, but maybe they have changed, because as you go on this journey of life, your values will change. You'll sometimes face experiences, people who may challenge those values, and it will challenge you in the sense of questioning whether you can stand by those values in all situations, right? So integrity is a really interesting value for me, because you'll find that it's an easy thing to say, but it's a very difficult value to live by, right? So if you look at money, money is a great example. When you don't have a lot of money, you might find that you will kind of take shortcuts on things because you don't have a great deal of money. And if you had more money, then actually you might do it this way. But right now you haven't got a great deal, so you're going to have to do it this way, even though it doesn't feel great, right? Money is one of the best tests, because whether you do or you don't have money shouldn't matter. You should be able to honor your integrity value either way, and things always work out. They will always work out. And trust me, you know, I've been in situations over the years where I haven't had a penny to my name, and where I've been in situations where I've had a lot of money. But who I show up in the middle of that, whether I have it or I don't, that's what's so important. Can I honor my integrity, whether I have money or not? Excuse me. So your job is another one. As we get older, obviously our responsibilities deepen, right? So we have mortgages, bills to pay, we've got financial commitments, we have all of these things. And so you may often find yourself in a situation where you say, well, I'd love to go and do this, right? I'd love to kind of be more of this kind of person with an integrity value or a kindness value, for example, but I'm actually doing a job where I'm having to do debt collection, for example, right? And we know that's kind of a really hard industry to be in. Imagine showing up every day and having to work and do that kind of job, right? And imagine what that does to your integrity value, your kindness, your lovability, all of those kind of things. So you may carry a different set of principles. And having looked at hundreds and hundreds of human design charts, I can honestly tell you that people who tend to thrive in that kind of environment do have different types of dynamics within their chart. They're nice people, but they're just better suited to those kind of roles because actually they've got clearer boundaries, and maybe they don't feel necessary, and they're able to deliver things in a way that's kinder, right? So not everyone is suited to those kind of roles, but that kind of role could really challenge your values. So just take a moment, and I did this years ago after where I took a really like a sabbatical, if you like, after one of my businesses, and I really took some time out, and I was lucky enough to be able to take over a year out where I literally did nothing, and it wasn't the brightest part of my life, but I did a lot of work on myself. I looked and explored things about the universe, why I felt uncomfortable when people said the word God to me. I looked at my beliefs. I looked at my values, how I want to show up in the world. And even, you know, if challenges come along and they, you know, it causes me to question those values, I just take a moment to stand still and think, well, actually, am I still in integrity? Am I still holding my kindness value? Am I still holding my love value, right? My trust, my freedom values. And if it doesn't tick those things, I will now, because I've practiced it so much, let them go. You know, many of you know that I run a B2B marketing agency, and I'm very, very lucky. And over the years, I have had clients that have paid me a lot of money, but they haven't acted in integrity, and I've really not enjoyed it. So I've let it go, and I've let it go and taken a leap of faith without something else being there. And that was a really hard thing to do. It's not something that's easy, but it's something that's so aligned. And I know, because history's told me, that something will catch me when I jump. And it always does. Like it always does, which is why I sit here and go, you know, you can actually align with your values. And that's your why. Your why, a lot of people will say it's my children, it's my family, it's, you know, things that's kind of like attached to somebody else. But your why isn't really about your family or your children and being able to give them the best life and being able to kind of create a wonderful environment for yourself. Your why lives inside of you, much like your purpose. If your purpose is emanating out of you, i.e., you are this shiny bright light when you're doing something that you love, and that creates magnetism, right? Then your why is the thing that enables you to stay in your lane and be this great human, so that you can shine your light and give yourself permission to do the thing that you love. And that's how your why and your purpose come together. I hope that's helpful. I hope that makes sense. Please pop any comments down below or your questions. Let me know if anything resonates, or whether you've got any further questions about it or anything like that. Feel free to also message me. I'm always delighted to hear from everybody. But if you are thinking about this, especially at this time of year, because January is a great month, and if you listened to my video just before where I was talking about January and actually its purpose within the calendar year, this is very much the time to go inwards. It's very much a time to kind of do a reflection piece on what has come before and now looking ahead, and then deciding what is the person you want to be? Who do you want to be going forward? Okay. And I'm not talking about changing the color of your hair and losing weight and all those kind of things. That's all external. Talk about the internal stuff. That's the most important work that you can ever do. Because as I said, anything can be successful. Any marketing strategy you apply can be successful. Any business idea that you have can be successful. But it's just whether you are lit up when you are doing that thing, right? And whether it aligns with your inner values, and your emotional guidance system will tell you whether you are feeling happy about it or not. Okay, so I'll leave you on that note. Thank you so much for your time. It's such a gift. And as I said, if you've got any questions, pop them down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much, everyone. Take care. Bye.